Welcome to Beyond the Pages. I'm your host, Arlene Reyes from Dalal.media. In this podcast, we go beyond the headlines, diving deep into the stories that matter with our team of journalists. Stay with us as we uncover the details, insights, and untold perspectives behind the news.
Dalal.media presents Beyond the Pages.
Today's sponsor is Serenity Health. And also,
Captain Tree Service sponsors today's episode. When a disaster happens, call the captain.
Okay. Next, we are sitting with Laura Beard from Serenity Health. Laura, welcome.
Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about Serenity Health primary care and what inspired you to start it.
I wanted to create, I've been a nurse for almost 30 years, and I became a nurse practitioner in 2008. And since then, I've just had a kind of a dream. I've worked in different parts of healthcare, but I've had a kind of a dream of creating something where I can interact with my patients, slow things down, help them to experience healthcare a little bit more differently, where they can feel heard, where they can feel like their concerns are they've been listened to. And so that's how Serenity Health was kind of born.
Okay, great. And then maybe tell us a little story of something that you have found rewarding in your journey.
Just having this dream come true has been very rewarding for me, and to be able to bring my friends along. My office manager, who's here with me today, has been a best friend for many years. My psychiatric nurse practitioner, we worked together and been friends for many years. So just bringing that group together has been awesome. And the feedback from my patients, just when I had a patient come in and they said they had never been to a doctor and not left crying. And I was like, what? And they left happy from our office. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that's an awesome statement as to what we're doing, how we're changing healthcare and how we're providing something a little bit different for them.
So how do you empower your patients to feel where they're not leaving your office, crying or having some bad experience or feeling as though they were not heard?
So knowledge, education, making sure that they know what their options are, what their condition might be, and making sure they have got all the information so they can make an informed decision. And then they can lead me into how they want to proceed. If somebody's like, I'm not sure I really want to be on a medication. Okay, we'll work with that. Let's come up with something. These are the pros, these are the cons, these are what we can do. So just giving them that voice, giving them that sense that they are in control or they have a say in their health care, that helps to empower them and to help them make them feel like, oh, I can do this. I can make these decisions.
Okay. And then what piece of health advice you wish more women would take seriously?
Take care of yourself like you take care of everyone else. Women do not. We put ourselves last all the time. And we need to step up and realize that self-care is a priority for us. Like, we need to do that. I've heard it said before, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you aren't taking care of yourself, you can't be there for the people that you love. So we need to prioritize, our mental health, our physical health, just taking time for our preventative health, taking time for nutrition, exercise, those little things that can help us.
How do you personally prioritize your own health and self-care while running a business?
It's truly a balancing act. It's not easy. We just started this company in February, so we're
wow.
Yeah, so we're really new. So it's been a challenge to try to balance being a provider, being a business owner, being a single mom, all the things. So what I've kind of decided that self-care for me isn't a luxury; it's necessary. So, and that can look different. It can look like a bubble bath at the end of the day. It can look like making sure I keep my appointments and I set my boundaries. I try to take time each day to take a walk or to meditate or deep breathe, those little things in between patients that can just get you through to the end of the day and then get you through the next day.
Okay. And then if you could go back and give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be?
Be bolder. Speak with intention. Speak up. Don't make yourself small for anybody else. Don't give into the self-doubt. It took me a long time to complete little goals because I feel like I didn't have the confidence. But over time, I've been able to build that confidence up and to get to where I am today.
What do you hope people take away from visiting Serenity Health?
That they were heard, that their healthcare matters, that someone's going to walk with them through their healthcare journey, whatever that looks like. And that could be your mental health care, that could be your physical health care, that, that we have compassion for whatever you're going through. We'll take the time to walk through that with you. And if they felt heard and they felt listened to and they felt like supported in their healthcare journey, then we've done what we need to do.
Okay, that's great. Does anyone have any questions for Laura? Yes, right back there. So the question was, if there are any services that are not provided by Serenity Health, do you coordinate that for your patients? Is that okay?
Yes, and I'm building my network every day. I try to find other independent providers mostly, but we will use the hospital systems when we need to. And I go out and visit different providers and kind of make sure that kind of on the same page with how we are approaching our patients. And then, yes, I've got some referral patterns built up already, and I'm building more.
Okay. Any other questions? Any providers outside of Serenity Health, how do you connect with them to make sure that all the information on the patients is coherent, up to date? Mm-hmm.
So we do, if I need to have them fax records to me, I'll do that. Yes, it's not as cohesive as some of the big health systems, but it's also a little bit more personal. And I will do what I can to get those records incorporated into our chart. I will reach out to other providers, coordinate things like that. I have access to my chart, so I can see that and, pull that information in if I need to. But we make it work, and I've not had a problem so far.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Well, thank you so much, Laura. And whenever you have a chance, stop by Laura's desk, Serenity Health. Thank you so much.
Today's episode is also sponsored by Alloy Personal Training. Today's episode is also sponsored by Piccalilli Inn.
Joining us now is Alloy Fitness, Casey McMonagle, and Narinder Dalal. Get that right? Okay, perfect. So, Narinder, can you tell us who you are and what you started and why?
Well, first of all, thank you for having this event. I feel like it's been so incredible hearing everybody's journeys. I would say locally, this is probably the first one that I've attended, so it's been amazing.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So we own Alloy Personal Training. On my daily basis, I actually work for a global investment manager. And Alloy Personal Training is something my husband and I own together. My husband was in the corporate world for 30 plus years, decided to leave that world and do something that really he felt, he's making a difference in someone's life. So we went through this journey of kind of figuring out what that was, and we both love pets. So I think we were thinking pets or health and fitness. And this concept really spoke to us. Alloy Personal Training is small group personal training. It's 6 people at one time. And we work with the 40 plus crowd. It's actually called active aging. I can't believe 40 plus is active aging. We had seen firsthand, a lot of our friends have like frozen shoulders or knee issues. I myself have a fully torn ACL, and I just didn't want to go to a regular gym It just wasn't for me. It's for a lot of people, but I felt that I needed the personalized attention. And we felt that if we're feeling like that, then there's a lot of other people that are feeling the same way. And, we really wanted to age gracefully and, really focus on where we wanted to be in our 60s and 70s and 80s and be self-sufficient. So this concept really spoke to us, and, here we are.
All right. So Casey, tell us what you do at Alloy and how you work with women that are, what did you call it again? Actively aging.
Hi, I'm one of the trainers at Alloy Personal Training, and the active aging 40 plus. People think, oh, I'm 40, I'm slowing down, and my advice would be to flip that in your mind to I'm only 40. So if you think about the past 2 decades of taking care of everybody else, children, sports, practices, dinner, all that stuff, kind of putting yourself on the back burner. To be honest, like, this is your time. I started my fitness journey when I was 49 years old. I have 3 children. My entire life was driving them back and forth to practices, and I thought, it's my time. I need to do something. So I was, older, but I'm 55 years old now, and I am in the best possible shape physically, mentally, confidently, and so it's not too late. Over 40 is absolutely active aging. I don't even like the active aging. Just not too old.
I think that's great that at 55 you feel like this is the best.
That's time of my life.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is great. Can you share maybe a transformation story that gets you very excited or emotional?
Absolutely. Anytime anyone walks into the gym, it's a transformation, because anytime someone walks in, they're learning that they can do something hard, and even that little bit is a transformation. However, I would love to tell the story about a 76-year-old woman that started, I'm going to call her Carla, and she was frail and fragile, and she got herself to Alloy. And when we first started with her, we had to keep her in one spot of the gym because she was a fall risk, and walking around wouldn't have been safe. So we bring equipment to her. We started her with just sitting in a chair on a box and maybe lifting up one leg, then lifting up the other leg. Little by little, we got her to be a little more mobile and walk around the gym, holding my hands, but still able to walk around the gym. Then she became so excited and confident in what she was doing. We started her with using the equipment, setting her up, saying, okay, Carla, I need you to do, pull it down 5 times. And I would turn around and she would keep pulling it. And I'm like, you're doing too many. And she said, well, that's because I can. She would be so excited going to her doctor and coming back in and saying, I told my doctor that I'm working out. And he said, when I have my surgery, I'm going to be so much stronger. And she got to the point where she's coming in, feeling good, feeling confident, thanking us for believing in her. And her transformation story is not like a typical one where, I came in, I lost 50 pounds and that kind of stuff. But in 5 months, Carla has become more independent and feeling more like she can do things for herself. So that's probably
really
one of the
great.
best ones.
Yeah. What is a myth that you like to break for women that are working out after the age of 40?
So the one thing I hear a lot is, I don't want to get bulky. Working out's going to make me bulky. And I can see where that comes from, because a lot of us grew up in the Richard Simmons and Jane Fonda sweating to the oldies, where cardio was everything. That's what women did. Like, I'm sure you remember like step aerobics and Olivia Newton-John, let's get physical. And, that was cardio was queen, where weightlifting or strength training was for bodybuilders. So I can see where that fear comes from. However, in order to get to that bulky, which people think, overly muscular or masculine, you have to train a certain type of way. You have to eat a certain type of way. It takes a very long time. And it's very specific training. And most of us don't have that hormonal profile to get to that stage anyway. So when you come in, you do your functional fitness is what we do. And we don't want to recreate our 20-year-old bodies. Like we're all coming in there for for a different reason, but the same end result. So we work on functional fitness. You're not going to get bulky. You're going to get your body ready for longevity. You're going to be able to get up and down off the floor to lift something heavy without hurting yourself. It's this myth of, I don't want to lift a weight. The minute I pick up a barbell, I'm going to get bulky. It's more like training for the rest of your life.
How have you and your husband worked to make the space feel welcoming?
I think it's really hiring the best trainers, who connect with every single person that comes in. These guys meet every Sunday, right, to discuss every single person that comes in that week. So it's not just you're walking in and they know if you have a surgery, they know what's going on at home. They know that, hey, this person may have hurt themselves, be careful. Maybe you can check, or this person's plateauing, so you can move them up a little bit, right? So it's really creating this sense of belonging, right? It's not a one size fits all. It's that when you're walking in, you feel that this is my place and these are my people. And when I say that, it's more that they really know me, that they really know what my needs are, right? Maybe it's, I have a knee injury and, I can't do any jumps, which I personally don't do as well.
Right.
So it's really that, I would say, is that feeling of belonging.
Okay. If someone is thinking of, this is something I might be interested in, or something that maybe I should take a first step to, what should be their first step?
Just show up.
Okay.
I think show up, right, for yourself. We have a plaque in the studio and it says, 1% at a time, right? So if you think of like a ship in the ocean, right, you're not like steering in all these different directions. It's a single thing you do every day, whether it's you setting your alarm, you're getting up, right? That kind of creates emotion for everything else that happens. So just wake up, just come, just check us out, right? And you don't, if you love it, sign up. If you don't love it, that's okay too. Our goal is really, whether you are coming to Alloy or not, we want to see everybody around us do better, right? And do better for yourself. So show up for yourselves. But we'd love to have you at Alloy. We are right next to the Morristown Mall. Next to Turning Point. We'd love to see all of you guys there.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's a wrap for this episode of Beyond the Pages. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed today's conversation, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Until next time, keep reading between the lines.